All right, welcome back to I Am Sure Sports. I am Omar Stennett, and I am so delighted that you have joined us today for another one. I'm back again. It's a big one, a better one, without stronger than before. Again, let me say a big thank you for watching our content. If this is your first time looking at I Am Sure Sport, thank you so much. And whomever shared it with you, let them know that we express our sincere gratitude. Without you, this would be pointless. All right. And so we are very delighted that you have taken time to look at our content. Now, let's get into today's topic. Firstly, let us speak a little bit about basketball. The National Basketball Association, the NBA. The trade deadline came and passed on March 25th, and teams made some moves. And so we're going to briefly go through as many as possible. And I'm going to start out in the Western Conference, speaking about, just some of the moves that were made and how it will impact the team's position in the playoffs or in the league in general. Let's begin with the Portland Trail Blazers. Portland Trail Blazers, they're presently holding a playoff position, meaning if the league should stop right now, they would be in one of those playoff positions. All right, they made a move where they traded Gary Trent Jr. and one other player to the Toronto Raptors, and they received Norman Powell. Now, Gary Trent Jr. was averaging around 15 points per game. Powell averages around 20 points per game. Now, if you understand the Trail Blazers, very good on the offense. I think they have the second best offense, but defensively they are the seventh best offense, but defensively they have the second worst defense in the entire NBA. What they have done has not changed things on the defensive end. Why? Because Norman Powell is primarily a scorer, so he doesn't add much to their defense anyways. What he is that he averages 20 points. So there's a 5-point difference between him and Gary Trent. So I don't think this move is going to really do anything except it gives some help to CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard. But nothing much is going to happen in terms of Portland. All right. The Denver Nuggets also made a move. Two moves. They got JaVale McGee and they got Aaron Gordon from, Aaron Gordon is coming from the Orlando Magic, all right? Now, Aaron Gordon is a very good scorer, but if you remember last season, one of the other persons that helped the Denver Nuggets was Grant. Grant was there to support Murray and the Joker, all right? So Grant was there. Grant, however, signed for the Detroit Pistons at the end of the season. So that left a big hole in the Denver Nuggets team. What they have done, they have plugged the hole that was created. They haven't really, so in my eyes, except for McGee, who can offer a little bit on the defensive end and rebound and stuff. They haven't really done much, except now when the Joker is out on the bench, they can bring in McGee to help with some defense. That's about it. So I don't think it changes anything. In fact, the fact that Nurkic is coming back for Portland probably will put Portland in a better position than the Denver Nuggets will be. And that's my personal thoughts on that. The other team in the West that made a move was the LA Clippers, who sent Lou Williams away. Lou Williams, as you know, has won Six-Man Award of the Year on more than one occasion. And they got, in exchange, Rajon Rondo. So Rajon Rondo is now with the Clippers. Now, Rondo is a very good piece that they have added, because one of the problems they had with Lou Williams is, though he was a very, very good scorer, very good shooter, he was vulnerable on the defensive end. His numbers also would fall in the playoffs. And what opposing teams would do would exploit his defensive flaw. What the Clippers have done, they have given up some offense to strengthen on their defense with Rajon Rondo, and now they have a floor general. Patrick Beverley is a very good point guard in terms of his defensive role, but he's not a general. He doesn't control what happens on the court. The Clippers have done this with Rondo, but again, I don't think they have enough to get past, say, Los Angeles Lakers with a healthy LeBron and a healthy AD, and now they have gone ahead and added Andre Drummond. Now, this may mean they have to give up Marc Gasol, who may work on a buyout, because I don't think both will be able to get enough time. I think Andre Drummond comes in and start. You would have AD at the 4. Whoa, you would have LeBron at the 3. You have Schroeder at the point guard, and I mean they have many options. Caldwell Pope, they could play 2 Kuz. I don't know, but they have a couple of options at the 2 spot. So I think this move has really helped them. They gave up Dwight Howard, but Andre Drummond offers a whole lot more than Dwight Howard. Andre Drummond is a double guy nightly, double figures in rebounding and double figures in points. He's an all-star. He's young, and so I think they have strengthened their interior play defensively and offensively. I don't think there's any team out in the West who has such a strong interior presence like the Lakers. It may affect them because he's not one of those what you call stretch 5 who can shoot the 3. He's not able to do that, and so he may come into difficulties if he should play a 5 or a center. Let's use that if you don't understand what the 5 is, who is able to come out of the paint and shoot the 3. He may struggle there, and that has been a part of his problems. But I think if they don't meet in the earlier rounds, it is going to work out to the Utah Jazz and the LA Lakers in the finals of the Western Conference. And I think the stronger interior defense of the Lakers will put them over the edge against this Utah Jazz, who, though they did not make any move, they are the number 1 seed presently, and they are super strong. They have a good coach in Snyder, and they're playing some really good basketball, and they have a solid bench. So don't write them off because they are doing really well. But that's in terms of major moves out in the West. That's what it looks like. That's how it is shaping up. I think the San Antonio Spurs have lost a little bit because there's a buyout with LaMarcus Aldridge, who now moves over to the Brooklyn Nets. Now, I don't know what is happening. I don't know. I can understand a player's need for a ring, but how will Kevin Durant feel if he wins a ring given this circumstance? Would he feel that he really won a ring in terms of, you know, the way, the Michael Jordan way? You understand me? The Hakeem Olajuwon way, the Kobe Bryant. I don't know. I just feel like, you know, even the Golden State Warriors, I mean, they had Clay, Draymond, and Steph. These guys were drafted. They didn't trade to bring a team. This team, the Brooklyn Nets, they have now Blake Griffin, LaMarcus Aldridge, DeAndre Jordan, Kyrie Irving, James Harden, Jeff Green, Kevin Durant. Come on, man. Come on. And I don't think LaMarcus Aldridge is going to fit into that team. I think he's going to clog up their interior. I think how Blake Griffin plays and he plays, you know, the elbow jumper that they like, is going to clog up the interior, And when you play with a guy like Kyrie who likes to drive to the rim, you're going to have some issues. I believe they are still going to come out of the East just because Kevin Durant, Kyrie, and James Harden were enough to do that. Those three by themselves would have been enough. So they are going to come out of the East. But I think they could face major problem if they meet the Lakers with LaMarcus Aldridge and Blake Griffin. I don't like this move. I think if they win the title, it undervalues the value of the ring. That's how I feel. Because it's like, this is like we're going to get every restricted free agent. We're going to buy out as much people that are bought out we're going to get. Like, for what? I mean, it just shows you that whether you agree or not, that LeBron James is the king. Look what they have to do in Brooklyn to try and get a title. It says to you, these guys fear LeBron James. I'm not the biggest LeBron James fan. I'm a Michael Jordan fan. But when you look at what Brooklyn is doing, you can see that there is a fear. All right? Which other teams made move? The Miami Heat's got Oladipo. That's good. And they got a next big man out of Sacramento, the Serbian. His name is so hard. Bjelica, I think Bjelica is his name. Bjelica is his name. They got those two pieces. But here's the thing. They had given up on Crowder, who was there last year, who played really, really well in the playoffs. I think this Oladipo move is going to affect something because they have Tyler Hero, who plays in the backcourt. They have Dragic, who plays in the backcourt. They have none as a young second-year guy coming up playing well in the backcourt. And now they have added Oladipo. All right, they have Jimmy Butler. I think they have too many pieces in that part. I don't know how that is going to work out. The Celtic got Fournier out of Orlando. He's going to be coming off the bench. I don't see him as a starter on the Celtic team. I don't know that that is going to make a difference to the Celtics position in terms of coming out of the East. PJ Tucker went to Milwaukee Bucks. He had some steal in their defense, can't shoot the three, but that's about it for Milwaukee. Nothing major. The Chicago Bulls added some very good pieces. I think they got Vujic from out of Orlando again, and so he's Zach LaVine, and they're over there. That's going to be good, but I think that's more like a next season project and not a this season project. So I mean, I would say the winners are probably the Brooklyn Nets. The Miami Heat is a winner because I think they're going to go up in terms of their ranking, so they will win. The Lakers, I think, are big winners. Clippers, they have won. I think those are the major winners, but out of those winners, I think you'll see the real fruit of these trades with the Lakers primarily if you have a fit LeBron James and a fit AD with this Andre Drummond. I was hoping that he would end up in New York, but unfortunately that has not happened. And so that's your NBA roundup for today, for this episode. Let us know what your thoughts are, what your feedbacks are. Give us a comment. Share with us your thoughts. All right. Now, I want to get back to the Reggae Boys, the JFF, and football in Jamaica on a whole. All right, we are in some very trying times. As you know by now, we lost the game 4-1 to the United States. The game played in Austria. The Reggae Boys, the Jamaica football team, lost 4-1. Now, I would say I am okay with the performance because these were primarily English-born Jamaican players. All right, because they are Jamaican players. They have a Jamaican passport. They have Jamaican heritage. So they are just as Jamaican as us. All right? I have no issues with that. And this happened because the most of the regular players, the Andre Blake, the Kemar Lawrence, the Leon Bailey, Bobby Reed, Daniel Johnson, Alvas Powell, Damian Lowe, Shamar Nicholson, Javel McGee. A lot of those guys did not go on this trip because of this battle with the GFF and the players. Now, I want to say this. Jamaica needs both sets of players. We need the best quality players out of England, and we need the best quality out of the crop of players that we were working with for so many years. And so I think if we have a 23-man squad, there are 10 players that I think that we have been working with that could be a part of that, and we could take like 6 players who play in the Premier League plus an additional 7 who plays in the Championship. So that's 13 plus 10, 23-man squad. If we have a 30-man pool of players we're working with, I think a good ratio would be 16 English-based or other island, because I understand there's a youngster out in Lazio who wants to represent Jamaica as well. We have a guy out in Sweden, I think his name is Brian Tuggart, who wants to play as well. So if we can get 16 of those players and 14 other for regular local players, local meaning they are born in Jamaica, though they may play elsewhere, maybe in the MLS, the USL, or in other leagues around the world. That would be a good mix, because we can't qualify with the local players alone, and we certainly won't qualify with the English-born players alone. All right, so I want to encourage the GFF that whatever is necessary, they need to do. I have my own proposal. I've shared it with persons within the GFF, and my thoughts are, because the GFF have come out and they have said publicly that really the English-born players, just because of their financial position, they are not coming to play for Jamaica so that they can be paid. They are not coming here for the money. In fact, they are okay with representing Jamaica without being compensated financially. Of course, accommodation and airfare must be taken care of. And so here are my suggestions, and you can tell me what you think. One, because these guys are willing to play without pay, still give them something. Say, all right, we are negotiating 2,000 for all our players, but we are willing to give you guys 1,000. And then what you do, you afford the other players 2,500. That's it, 2,500. So I'm saying increase the base pay for the other players, and you're only giving $1,000 to the English players, because you'd have been originally budgeting 2,000 for everyone. So you're not digging into any additional resources. It is the same resources. A part of that as well is that we must get to the place that all our players, when they have an international game, travel at least business class, maybe not first class. Now a player could up to pay for first class, but let them travel at least business class instead of coach or economy, because that could be very uncomfortable, especially when it's a long journey. So in our negotiations, I know for the Gold Cup we don't have this problem, because if you know how the Gold Cup is, at the Gold Cup they pay for all your air and ground travel, and they pay for your accommodation for the duration of the Gold Cup. So you'll be traveling first class and in 5-star hotel. That's a cost that is left up to the organizers of the Gold Cup. So it just has to do with our friendlies and the World Cup qualifiers. That is my proposal to the GFF. All right. I'm also understanding that there are other things that the players are asking, are demanding, that are not financially based. In other words, it doesn't put money in the players' pockets, but they are reasonable to establish a trust environment. All right, what are those things? For example, I've heard things like when the team travels. Listen, remember, I don't know that this is the truth. Is what has been said, and what I'm doing is that all I'm saying is that if this is what has been said, here is a solution, because it don't make sense we sit down every day arguing and discussing all the problems without putting in meaningful solution. The Gold Cup is just around the corner. and the World Cup qualifiers start in September for Jamaica. Listen, I don't know if you realize how fortunate we are. Imagine if we had to be playing in the qualifiers now, the turmoil there would be. We probably, truthfully, if we never did well in the Gold Cup and gotten to a place where we are the third ranked team in CONCACAF, we would probably be knocked out in this round because of the confusion. So we have to give thanks to the Almighty God that we have to give thanks that we are not playing in the present qualifying rounds, because we would be in serious problems. I want you to hear that. So, what I am suggesting to the JFF, Mr. Ricketts, Mr. Wind, Mr. Gaynor, Mr. Speed, understand that Dave Cameron is part of the negotiating board, the lawyers, and all the other persons. Coach Whitmore, these persons I respect because they are serving the country. Whether I may not agree with all that they do and how they do it, but the fact that people have taken time to serve the country in whatever capacity, we have to give them respect. That's why I respect police, I respect soldier, because these people, they don't have to do it. And the fact that they are doing it, and sometimes they say, well, other people will, not necessarily so. So I respect them, I have a high level of respect for them. So I'm not trying to, and I would say I have good relationship with players and I have good relationship with people within the JFF. So here's a simple thing. There are some things that we can do. To get 2 physiotherapists for our travel, I don't think it is a hard thing that will break the bank. In fact, I am very sure that within the Premier League, there are probably qualified persons who work in that capacity that would probably volunteer for a 6-month period. So I'm saying that, talk to some of the clubs. Talk to a Mount Pleasant, a Waterhouse, a Portmore United, a Harbourview, and say, listen, who is the physiotherapist, the licensed, qualified physiotherapist? Would they be willing to serve the JFF for the Gold Cup? Right? We will cover their per diem, their accommodation, and their airfare. All right? And then they can, if you make some money, you could give them some compensation because they'll be off their jobs. See if you could do that. I'm very sure that there are clubs who would help with that. That's a solution. The point I'm making is that some of the stuff that we need to solve, they are not money-based. Meaning the money is not going into players' pockets. It is establishing an environment of professionalism and restoring respect. Let me tell you this. Hurt people hurt people. And what is happening, a lot of players in the national team are hurt. And people within the JFF are hurt. And there's a lot of hurt going on. I have said time and time again, I am willing to mediate. Not to negotiate, but to mediate. Because when the negotiation is done, it doesn't settle some of the issues that are there. There are deep under the surface things that are happening in the player's heart concerning people in the JFF and vice versa. I'm very sure, I don't know, I'm very sure that there are discomforts that Whitmore has. And there are discomforts that people have with Whitmore. These things need to be dealt with in the next 2 months. You don't have to use me, but there are professional people out there. I'm professional, I'm trained, but there are other people out there who could help because this is too important. This is, since 1998, the best opportunity Jamaica has of qualifying for the Men's World Cup, the Women's World Cup, and the next Under-20 World Cup, male and female. At least, this is the best opportunity Jamaica has right now to win their first Gold Cup. This is the best opportunity Jamaica has to be the #1 ranked team in CONCACAF. This time, this is the moment and this is the time. There are too many stakeholders in our football. Too many for this to go down. I'm fine. If you hate the GFF, that's your business. But you don't hate football. You don't hate football. Look past the personalities and look to the nation. During this time, imagine, I want all of you to think with me. Imagine government, football stakeholders, from D1 teams to Super League teams to Major League teams to Premier League teams to Corner League teams. Listen to me. You invest money, you buy boots and train and coach, and you're a parish admin, you work in different departments, whatever it is. Listen to me. Imagine what it would do if Jamaica were playing the finals of the Gold Cup during this time. The lift it would give to the country. You know how many families they have lost loved ones in this COVID time? This is the one thing. There's no champs. There's no Olympics. There's the thing that we have right now. There's no cricket. The thing that we have now as a nation that can propel us and lift the people, restore hope outside of church and God is football. And I want all the stakeholders to consider that. The persons within the GFF. Listen, if there's an ego thing, whatever you need to do, whoever you need to release, whoever you need to say, listen, I need some help, call them. None of us can do it alone. I want you to think about it. Imagine if Jamaica get everything together and we win the Gold Cup. Imagine what will happen for the nation. You don't realize that football is at a place right now that it appears that locally there is going to be no football until August or September. We need the national team right now. Right now we need the national team. And I'm asking every person involved. I'm available to help, but you don't have to use me. And like I said, I know some of the players and I know the family. These guys want to play in the World Cup. We have to find a way. We have to find a way. We have to find a way. You have to find a way. You have to find a way. Any man can find a fault, but not everyone is willing to work on solutions. What say you? Let me ask you, what are you going to do about this? What are you doing about this? Stop blaming each other. And let me give you a nugget. So whenever there are problems and crises and negative, before you look out the window, look in the mirror. I want all of you, the players, the GFF, football stakeholders all across Jamaica. Before you look out the mirror, look in the window. I'll say it one more time. Before you look out the mirror, look. Before you look out the window, look in the mirror. Look inside. Let's check and ask ourselves, am I operating in the best interest of the sport of football in the island of Jamaica? Something must be done. I'm ready to help. Volunteer my time. Don't need anything. This is my country. Love Jamaica. Nice place to live. Sweet jam down. Volunteer my time. This was another episode of I Am Sure Sports. Remember, make a comment.